The following is a presentation of the HAN Network, the leader for local news, sports, and more in southwestern Connecticut.
Good evening and welcome to the Darien Ice House. Happy Martin Luther King Day as we get set for some girls ice hockey with the latest installment of the New Canaan Darien Rivalry as the girls get set for their first of two meetings during this regular season. Two towns separated by the Merritt Parkway who know each other very well, John, and there is no love lost no matter what sport they get matched up in.
These girls grew up playing youth hockey together, playing youth hockey against each other. Bragging rights are at stake, as in any of these Darien New Canaan rivalries.
You look back to last season, the Wave 3-0 against New Canaan, including a 2-0 victory in the FCAC championship. Top of the conference perennial powers, without a doubt. But these are two very different Darien New Canaan teams that we are used to seeing. Graduating arguably the most storied classes for both programs when you think about the senior leadership, the key role players, just a lot of pieces that had to be replaced. For the first time in a long time, not one of these teams sitting at the top of the conference.
No, you've got Darien in third. They are 5-3 overall, but only 4-3 in Connecticut. The odd win being against Morristown Beard in New Jersey, that a 1-0 win. 3-1 in the FCAC, whereas New Canaan comes in 2-2-1, 2-0-1 in the FCAC. And you say there's no winner in a tie, but when we were last here at the Darien Ice House to see these New Canaan Rams, you could argue they won that tie when they came from 2 goals down in the third period to get a 2-2 deadlock with Greenwich.
A really big tie it was, trailing by 2, scoring twice in the last 6 minutes, including the game-tying goal with 49 seconds left. And you look at the standings now, everyone is chasing Greenwich with that 4-0-1 conference record. Fairfield off to a great start, 4-1, only a point behind the Cardinals. Then there's Darien, New Canaan. And one thing that the Wave and the Rams have working for them, John, they've got a lot of games at hand looking at the top of the conference.
They really do, and I find it an odd bit of scheduling that you've got teams that have played 7 games, 8 games, and teams that have played 5 games. It's kind of a weird dynamic that some teams have a number, as many as 3 or 4 games in hand where they can make up points and start to maybe creep up the state playoff rankings.
Speaking of the state playoff rankings, both these teams on the outside looking in right now, but they've got games they're going to make up. They will get it to work. Let's talk about a key matchup in this game, John. And for that, I want to bring in Chris Kalin, who's down outside. Chris, we've got 2 goalies that are completely different stories in net. Emily Giannunzio, so much experience, her 3rd year as a starter with a couple conference championships under her belt. And then the rookie, Cara Fahey at the other end. Take us inside that matchup inside the crease.
Well, the thing is for New Canaan, you've got that green goalie presence in Cara Fahey, but she hasn't played like a green goalie. She's been outstanding, especially in the game against Greenwich. She's one of the reasons why New Canaan was able to stay in that game for as long as they did. She actually helped hold that team together with Greenwich's onslaught until the start of the third period, and then the New Canaan offense was able to take over.
Go ahead, Cato. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying for Darien, you've got a veteran goalie in Emily Giannunzio who's been through all the wars, seen it all, done it all, and this is nothing new for her. This is a goalie who is really taking control and leading this team, who can really handle the pressure between the pipes.
And understands what it takes to win a championship. You look at Cara Fahey, John, and she struggled in that first game against Simsbury, but since then has really stepped it up. The big 27 saves that allowed New Canaan to come away with a crucial point in their last game against Greenwich.
Yeah, I mean, she really kept them in it when Greenwich kept the pressure up. And I think withstanding that pressure against Greenwich is going to go a long way to see how they respond to the test that Darien's going to put on them, because Darien will keep the pressure up all night long.
It should be an exciting one. It always is when these two teams get together for the battle for exit 37. Let's step aside, take a quick break, but when we get back, we'll have the starting lineups in the first period of action for you coming up from the Darien Ice House next on the HAN Network.
Have a sports injury or slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast, without an appointment. Basketball, hockey, skiing, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care, open Monday through Saturday, now in 2 locations. The iPark Building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk and 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien. Or go to coastalorthoexpress.com, like them on Facebook.
At the Milford Bank, we offer an extensive selection of lending products and services to meet virtually any need. Submit your application online in our Mortgage Web Center. Start to finish, you can apply for a loan in as little as 10 minutes. Our knowledgeable and helpful staff are available to meet with you at your convenience. To learn more about what we can do for you, stop by one of our Milford Bank offices or visit us at milfordbank.com. The Milford Bank, always there. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Why cook it all this holiday? Avoid the stress of holiday planning and let your friends at Walter Stewart's in New Canaan do the heavy lifting. Whether you're looking to fill in with a few crowd-pleasing sides or you want us to prepare your whole feast, from cranberry sauce to pumpkin pie, we're ready to simplify your holiday. Place your order from our holiday menu and spend your holiday the right way, relaxing. Our fresh prepared holiday meals to go are designed with your busy schedule in mind. Visit us at stewartsmarket.com or at 229 Elm Street, New Canaan.
If you're watching this broadcast, you're not alone. The HAN Network is available for 200,000 Connecticut cable customers on the Frontier Network. And we've also reached 1.7 million viewers on our free live streaming sports, news, and entertainment broadcasts. To reach our rapidly growing audience, contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
Welcome back to the HAN Network. Darien and New Canaan getting set. Square off in girls hockey. They share this rink, John, but Darien, the home team tonight. New Canaan will be the home team in matchup number 2 this year. Let's go through the starters for the Blue Wave. You'll have Courtney Lowe, Corinne Bevell, Shea Vanderbrock, Cassidy Schiff, Kiki Tropsa, and in goal, number 35, Emily Giannunzio. For the Rams, you will see Sophie Potter, Jess Eccleston, Gianna Bruno, alongside Brooke Dean with Quincy Connell, and in goal, number 1, Kara Fahey.
Good to see Gianna Bruno in the starting lineup. She went down hard in that game against Greenwich a week ago, was helped off the ice, was helped back to the locker room, so it's good to see her back.
And she will play a crucial role in tonight's game if the Rams are going to be successful. The one advantage the Rams really do have, John, is up front. They've got a lot of senior leadership and depth back on offense when you think about Brooke Dean and Gianna Bruno, both who played on a top line last year and are very familiar with Giannunzio, but this Darien style of play.
Yeah, and you have to, there's a familiarity, I think, both teams with what they're going to face in terms of style. This is going to come down to execution and heart.
The Wave in the white tops with the blue pants, and the Rams in the black jerseys and red pants as they'll move from the top of your screen down to the bottom in this first period. So we are underway, working down below the goal line now as the Rams on the forecheck to start. They battle 2 aside in the corner, and coming away with that one was Bruno, who fires one on goal for the first shot of the night. Good look there from Quincy Connell. The freshman has been red hot to start the season playing on that top line. And back now comes the Wave with Kiki Tropsa, the defenseman, stepping up to join the rush.
She had a lot of open ice, and New Canaan did this a lot, I felt, against Greenwich the other night. You ended up with all the skaters to one side of the ice, and you left huge lanes.
And Chris, one thing that the Rams really struggled with against Greenwich the other night was the wing play on the boards in their own zone. Too many times they saw the puck stop at the blue line. They were unable to clear for the neutral zone.
Yeah, and that was something they solved going into that third period. That's one of the things they actually improved on. They actually were able to get the puck out of the zone and get offensive rushes.
And John, you mentioned how these teams very familiar with each other. They grew up playing together. Of course, that would be for the Connecticut Ice Cats, one of the premier girls teams in this state. One of their coaches, of course, head coach Jamie Tropsa. He and the New Canaan coach Rich Buellin, two of the most familiar faces in all of girls hockey in Connecticut.
Oh, this is really the cradle, I think, of girls ice hockey in the state of Connecticut right here.
And it was a rivalry that for so long New Canaan dominated in those mid-2000s. But the story of late has been Darien. And again, we can sing the praises of that graduating class in 2016 all we want. But it is a new year now as the Rams are hoping to knock the Wave from off the top of the mountain. Eccleston down the right wing boards. Tried to center one out in front, but it was cut off by Molly Reed as the junior intercepted.
You know, Frank, you've been involved in hockey in the Darien, New Canaan area for some time. How much does having facilities like the Darien Ice House, formerly the Darien Ice Rink, and the New Canaan Winter Club, which is an outdoor rink, how much does having those facilities and the access to them elevate the level of play?
Well, the Ice Cats are another team that use the Winter Club as their home rink along with the Darien Ice House. You get a lot of Darien members at New Canaan Winter Club. To have that outdoor rink, that's how a lot of these kids growing up, both boys and girls, Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights, they're out on the ice. That's the way they want to spend their weekend, and it shows in the development of their skill set and their skating. But again, this is a rivalry tool that you share these rinks. You see these kids every other day coming in and out of practice at opposite times. So
you see somebody every day, you want to beat them when you play against them, period.
As Tropsa works her way from her own end zone down to the opposite way.
Only that one shot on goal so far, Frank.
Good neutral zone play, balanced forecheck, but strong work from both defensive units to start this one.
Yeah, each team's been able to move the puck against the other. Just nobody's gotten a real clean chance.
And you can see the Rams very set on gaining the red line, the far blue line, throwing it behind the net, forcing the Wave to go the full 200 feet.
I think they like that setup behind the net to try to set up either the wraparound or that pass that sneaks out from behind to somebody in the slot or on the point.
This is the first game for New Canaan since they played against Greenwich last Wednesday. Their game this weekend was canceled because of weather. I do mean postponed, excuse me. They will play Norwalk McMahon at a later date and Wilton at a later date in the season.
These teams will meet again on February 13th. That a Monday. That's scheduled for 8:10, as this game initially was.
And this icing waved off. They'll say it hit off of Lowe's stick is now quickly having to retreat and face this one was Drugan. Back for the Rams, and Eccleston collects. Gaining speed and sends one down in. Giannunzio did well to stop that one and allow Lowe to recollect. Now they battle on the boards. Lost momentarily by Sally Cassidy. Of course, the younger sister of Georgia Cassidy, who was a huge part of that FCX championship team last year, scoring the game-winning goal in that tournament. Dean with time. Finds Bruno. Quick shot. Saved Giannunzio. The rebound bounced around and it went wide. Out in front again and it just went through the crease. Best opportunity of the night comes from the Rams.
And a great job on the boards to come away with that puck and set up that slot opportunity.
Not done yet, though. Eccleston tried to let one go, but it was blocked as Drugan stopped that one with her feet. And Chris, how about the patience from Brooke Dean on the left wing there to find Gianna Bruno, her winger, in the slot?
It's right now, there's a lot of action going on, not many shots on goal, and you see everybody's playing smart. They're moving well, both teams moving well without the puck, trying to set up shots and plays.
And the first save of the night for Fahey there, a very confident save, John, flashing the left pad.
5.5 minutes she's had to wait to face her first shot on goal. Did not get to her, and sometimes that anticipation can be overwhelming.
And a bit of a tricky shot, too. We saw that was a shot that Eccleston was able to score on, that first goal for the Rams last week on Wednesday night.
Yeah, that was a tough one. Got underneath Ware as she kind of tried to kick it aside, and it just snuck through there.
Now that we've mentioned both Cara Fahey and Jessica Ware, we should mention they are both up for the HAN Network's Athlete of the Week. Make sure you get online and vote. We have 10 nominees here in Week 2. Of course, we had Olivia Parisi and Anthony Beccaria, both from Fairfield Ward, as your Week 1 winners. Brought to you by Danbury Orthopedics, Orthocare Express. 8:45 remaining as a shot from the point. It was wide to the left. Back up the boards as pinching down was Tropsa. Out in the slot, Vanderbroek, quick shot and a stick save made in front of the 5-hole. Opportunity again, sent towards the front.
I don't think it ever got there, Frank.
It was blocked aside by Caitlin Sparks that time, as now it's Darien who controls in the offensive zone. Tropsa stepped around one defender, cut off by Sparks. Numbers if she gets help, but the Rams will go for a change instead. Sparks almost had an opportunity for the breakaway there. It was turned over. Good job from the sophomore defenseman, though.
And what I liked was Sparks fighting to keep that puck in. Chris?
And Darien had a good opportunity to set up and maintain an offensive presence, but Cassidy held the puck just a little too long, and Canaan was able to close in on her and force the turnover.
7:58, a scoreless game.
Great pace to this, by the way.
Both teams with opportunities so far as well to draw one back. Shot by Eccleston, wide in the right corner. Up the boards, and Potter able to hold the zone. Battling that time and coming away was Branca, along with the help from Elise Morrow. Morrow dumps this one all the way around to the opposite corner. And Eccleston was cut off trying to leave the zone. Battle at the half wall, makes its way up to the point. Shot towards the net, and it is held on to after making the save that time. Branca the shot, and a good job by Fahey to slow things down. But an offensive zone face-off now coming for the Blue Wave.
This much back and forth, and unofficially I have the teams only at 3 shots apiece midway through this first period. Chris?
And that shot on goal was clear wide open for Fahey to defend. I think Darienne's been trying to set everything up and get deflections and try to frustrate her that way. It's just they've had a hard time doing it.
Thank you, Chris. With 7:10 to go, as the Rams unable to clear the zone the first time, but then sent out to the neutral zone as the Waves have to regroup.
You have to hope for New Canaan's sake that they don't fall into the same pit that they fell into against Greenwich, where they can't get it past their own blue line.
And you can see how aggressive the Darien defense are going to be on the half wall. If there is a 50-50 puck, expect them to pinch. And oftentimes, if the Rams have their heads down, to try and cut them off, as Kiki Tropsa went hard into the boards that time. Good to see her get right back up, though. Now it's Vandenbeek. Working towards the middle on the backhand, had it poked away, though. As regrouping that time and sending down, able to get a change off the stick of Marciano.
New Canaan, the last couple of times they've had opportunities for breakaway, has opted instead to take the shift change.
And that's something that we didn't see a lot of from New Canaan the other night against Greenwich. I thought their shifts at times were very long, extended, and part of that, Chris, was because they were stuck in their own zone so much.
That all comes down to Greenwich closing off the blue line. And now you're seeing New Canaan, what they're doing is they're not afraid to take the puck through the middle. That was something they didn't do a lot of in the first 2 periods against Greenwich.
And something else to keep in mind, John, when you think about how mentally Darien has owned New Canaan of late in girls hockey, it's got to be a confidence boost for the Rams knowing Greenwich beat Darien 2 weeks ago, and they were able to fight back and get that tie on Wednesday night.
Anything you can cling to mentally that helps put you at ease, that helps fire you up, and that's just one of those little tidbits that you can keep in the back of your mind in a rivalry game like this.
Losing that one for a moment and able to recollect now is Drugan. Looking up ahead, and she found her winger, Day leader. Puck off the side of the net, but unable to be cleared. As going back for this one is Sparks.
And great job for Darien keeping the puck in by Kate Dayleader.
Sparks' pass couldn't connect in the middle with McCarthy, and now retreating all the way back around. Looking to center that time was Reed. Pass for Reed too far. Behind the net is Potter. Off the boards, but the winger wasn't there yet. As now they battle out in front of the Zamboni door. Puck through the crease there as it was deflected off a New Canaan stick.
Only 3 shots on goal each unofficially, but this has been very entertaining hockey. It's just they're not getting the scoring opportunities.
Both teams have had time where they've maintained possession. As trying to walk the line now, looking to center in front again. Bounced around. And now New Canaan with an opportunity to clear. Centering pass doesn't get out, but this one will be sent all the way down for an icing. And you're right, there's been a very good pace of play. We've seen sustained possessions, but both teams, Chris, doing a very good job of protecting the house in front of the net.
Darien on that last possession, they were able to maintain good offensive zone pressure and almost force New Canaan to ice the puck just so they can get a change. And I think that was something else they didn't do against Greenwich. Ice the puck and get fresh bodies, and I think they're doing a better job of that tonight.
Opportunity off the rebound, but it's sent wide. Good save made by Fahey. Strong play off the draw from Darien. That's the last 3 minutes now. The Wave have turned the pressure up.
If I was a goalie, it would be nerve-wracking to me to just go through these, 3, 4, 5 minute long stretches without facing a shot.
Impressive stick handling there from Bruno as she worked up halfway and then able to dump in for the forecheck to begin. Dean trying to check Rugen off the puck that time. Good job on the breakout. Dumped in again, giving chase now is Vandenbroek. And that, John, right there is a great example of where Darien has had success. They've done a good work reversing and flipping corners in the offensive zone, going from left side of the net all the way behind to the right.
They've done a very good job with that, and if they get New Canaan, everybody moving to one side, which they did a number of times against Greenwich, they're going to get breakaways coming back out of that.
And it's been successful, Chris, because you can see that offside wing getting caught puck watching and drifting a little too far into the slot.
Darien so far is they've done an excellent job, one, with their rotations. They're getting good shifts, and they're getting players on and off the ice rather quickly, and that helps from sustaining the offensive pressure.
Traps against the zone. Thank you, Chris. Turned over momentarily. Quick shot coming, but it stopped in front. Never reached the crease. Now at the point with Lowe. Her shot was stopped by McCarthy. Turned over at the blue line. It's now McCarthy and Tropsa battle on the left wing boards.
Good stick handling to keep it in.
Puck is caught and played back down, and then McCarthy able to get in the red line and finally flip the script as Darien retreats behind their own net.
Probably been the longest sustained possession we've seen this latest onslaught by Darien, but only one shot on goal out of it.
Sarah Murphy tried to center one there, but it was blocked, and now a potential opportunity for an odd man rush. Stick handling through the middle. Good back check from Eccleston. And the save was made by Fahey. The changeup from DeLeader almost snuck in there, John.
Yeah, that was a tough shot to hand. She couldn't really time getting the stick and getting her pads down in front of it.
A minute 15 remaining. Darien back on the attack, working down low in the right corner.
They really have tilted the ice that way in the past 5 minutes.
It started down here in Giannunzio's crease, but the last 5 minutes exactly have been all Blue Wave. Good job on the back check that time by Marciano. And this one's sent out to safety with 50 seconds remaining. Drugan retreating back. Far side pass, and it's turned over. Quincy Connell, fresh off the bench. Tried to get the shot off, but another block there from Drugan. That might be her third of the period already.
It's at least her third, but no support because New Canaan again went for the line change.
And Darien did so too, so Drugan left out on her own. With 30 seconds left as the Rams try to get one more rush here. Sent all the way back in, and Sophie Potter now will race for this one against Cassidy Schiff. Schiff, centering pass, finds Tropsa up top. Swivels her way around the first defender. Tough angle shot knocked aside. The Rams now in trouble with 5 seconds remaining on the clock. Puck out in front of the net. Shot was blocked by Sparks. I don't think she realized where it was, and it saved a goal, Chris, with just 2 seconds on the clock.
From here, it actually looked like Fahey made the save on that shot. Fahey did a great job reacting to that puck. She was on top of it. That puck got past Sparks. Fahey was there to make the save.
Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. We'll have analysis of that first period and the second period of action between Darien and New Canaan right after this on the HAN Network.
At InSports Trumbull, the game is always on inside. Recently renovated and home to one of Connecticut's largest indoor turf fields, InSports is a multi-sport recreation center providing state-of-the-art facilities for league play, camps, and youth programs. Sign up now for InSports High School Passing League. These 7-on-7 teams formed by area high schools offer a great way for football players to stay sharp in the off-season. 3 weekly 6-week sessions will be offered from December 1st through January 5th, January 12th through February 16th, and February 23rd through March 30th. For more information, visit insportscenter.com.
Like and follow us on Facebook.
Discover a world of wellness in the heart of New Canaan. Halo Studios, New Canaan's first collaborative wellness center, offers you the freedom to choose from the best and latest health, fitness, and wellness options. Inside Halo Studios, you'll find all the wellness experts you need at places like Halo Fitness, Priority Wellness, and Sama Yoga Center. Come by for a free wellness assessment, open 7 days a week at 45 Grove Street. For more information, visit halostudios.com or call 203-594-9909.
Well, there's still a bite out on the water. Most anglers have decided to stow the gear for the winter. Just because Mother Nature isn't cooperating doesn't mean you can't see the latest models of all your favorite gear. With 2 convenient locations, it couldn't be easier to get your fix of summer. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com.
Give your day a jumpstart with the...
Back on the HAN Network, a scoreless first period, highlighted by superb goalie play at both ends and sturdy work from both defensive units. Let's start down inside the ice with Chris Kalin. Who impressed you most for both teams there, Chris?
You know what? I would probably say, I don't think it was any one individual. I think both teams, till about the last 5 minutes of that period, they both worked very well, clearing the puck, moving the puck, trying to establish some kind of offensive presence. It was only until late in the period where Darien was able to take hold and take control of this game. For New Canaan, they've got to go back to what they were doing early in that second period, getting the puck through the middle of the zone. Don't try to push it out along the walls. Take the puck out and then dump it into the zone and go after the puck.
Yeah, they've gotten away from that, I think, Frank, and they need to get back to it.
And it shows, too, it's partly because of the confident play that we have seen so far from the Darien defense as they are playing very aggressively along those boards. Puck up to low at the point. Shot towards the front of the net. Got slowed down momentarily. Then cleared to safety by Caitlin Sparks.
Sparks just parking at the top of the crease to protect her goaltender, Kara Fahey.
Sparks was a name we called quite a few times in that first period. His opportunity here just went wide. Fahey might have got a piece of that shift backhand. Bad pass there coming from Kiki Tropsa, and now up with an opportunity the other way. Bruno tried to stick handle one too many times, and it was blocked off. As then sent down to the ice was Lindsey Dwayne. Bruno, Dwayne, and Connell, the line on the ice right now. Let's go back inside the glass. Chris.
And Lindsey Dwayne tried to clear that puck herself, throws it off the tush of the official, and then comes back, collects it, and then takes the chance for the scoring opportunity.
Bad turnover at the blue line that time as Brooke Dean jumped it momentarily. But now Lowe looking to rush the opposite way. Took a stick check from behind. Darien fans wanted a penalty. No call coming, though.
Giannunzio had her hand up to make the delayed call, but that doesn't matter. Her opinion does not count on that one.
Tropsa sends one from her own blue line back into the Rams zone. Retreating is Eccleston. Up ahead, through the legs of a waiting Blue Wave defenseman, and now Sarah Murphy tries to battle for it. A lot of neutral zone play through the first 2.5 minutes here. As both teams struggling to set up on offense. Down in the corner, McCarthy. She scored that goal with 49 seconds to go. Back against Greenwich on Wednesday last week. She was the extra skater replacing Fahey. Shot got blocked and then denied coming through. Opportunity here, but unable to control that one was Claire Knight.
You get the feeling New Canaan's a stride away from an odd man rush on about every possession.
Darien doing a good job, though, of making sure they have one defenseman back, someone able to replace if another defenseman pinches. And we've also seen a bit of a line switch here, so they switched up, bumped Dwayne up with that top line. You've now got Brooke Dean playing alongside McCarthy and Sarah Murphy.
Great defense there by Jessica Eccleston. Staying with her skater, really getting on the hip almost like a defensive back and just staying there and breaking up the play.
This one poked off the stick of Bruno, and now going back to chase this one down is Sparks. Turned over at the blue line. Vandenbroek all the way around the net, still looking for help. Good work from the freshman Quincy Connell, who jumped back into the corner to help out.
Really been some strong stick work. No checking here in the girls' game. Really been some strong stick work in some battles for the puck.
Bad turnover that time from Bruno at the blue line. Quick shot on goal. Fahey with the chest save. Now passed in front, and the deflection just went wide. That's Darien looking to capitalize on the opportunity. Another one sent through the crease. Here's Dwayne with it. She can't clear the zone as it's sent back in by Tropsa. Bevel is the first player to the puck and still unable to clear this time. It's Connell.
Tropsa just holding that blue line, not allowing the puck.
Puck out in front of the crease. It's loose, and then the whistle as Fahey denies the wraparound attempt. And a well-deserved round of applause for the Darien Blue Wave after a very strong shift.
Well, you've got to applaud a little bit for Kyra Fahey, too, because she's withstood that. I have the shots unofficially at 4-0 right now for this period in favor of the Darien Blue Wave. Chris?
Yeah, that's exactly what I've got, too. So far, shots on goal. New Canaan has 3 first period until now. Darien has 9.
Exactly what I have, Chris.
So the Rams losing another draw in their own zone. Pass out in front. Quick shot. It bounced around. They score. Elise Morrow, the junior, off the pass from Katie DeLeader. And with 10:26 remaining, it is 1-0 in favor of Darien. And it's a defensive zone draw that's lost. The New Canaan D just looked out of sync for those last 2 shifts, John.
Also kind of a funky hop on that shot. It wasn't really a clean shot. Kind of was saved, but then continued on its way, got a little airborne. You can't make every save. And that was the 10th shot on goal that Darien has had in this first 20 minutes of action.
Stretch pass through the neutral zone, just missed an odd man rush opportunities. Now it's Eccleston back the other way. And that one poked off her stick. And it's Brooke Dean who's forced to retreat for that one. Going to say that it was stay onside, so the play still legal, and then sent down and waved off.
Chris?
Sorry about the yelling, guys. Darien, also in the neutral zone, has done an outstanding job poke checking New Canaan, preventing those odd man rushes.
Hey, Chris, do you have the official scoring on that? Come back.
And you can hear, just to go back to that, John, you heard Coach Trops is screaming, fired up, fired up, fired up. Obviously now the Blue Wave looking for the stretch pass through the neutral zone. It's the one-timer off the stick of Bruno, just wide.
And it almost caromed straight back into the back of Giannunzio, and she had to kind of reach behind her back to make sure that puck wasn't about to go in off the back of her leg.
Take the Joe Louis bounce off the board.
Yeah. There he is, Chris.
Guys, I've got the scoring. It's Colleen Cassidy from Elise Morrow, my apologies, Elise Morrow, and Katie Delitter.
Thank you.
So they're going to say, John, that shot that redirected in front was off of Colleen Cassidy, who we originally thought might have been a New Canaan player.
Yeah, it was, like I said, it was a very, very odd hop. There was a lot going on that shot.
And there is a shot on goal finally for the Rams here in the second period. Good job by Giannunzio making that save. But, Chris, I thought maybe Sophie Potter had an opportunity to walk closer and closer to the net there instead of just letting that one go from the point.
Yeah, I was honestly surprised she let it go that distance out. I think for New Canaan, the challenge, Giannunzio, you really have to get in on her and not only, take that one shot, but try to get that rebound from.
As winning that race was Bevel.
And that's one thing New Canaan has not done, is gotten anybody really to park in front. And that was when they finally had success against Greenwich a week ago.
Out to the point. Shot coming this time from Bruggen. Got knocked down again. Second chance. Just wide on the right off the redirect. Another shot tipped around in front and stick to side. Give Fahey credit for a save there.
Just wide. But she got a stick on it as it came into the crease.
Check from behind. There was McCarthy, and now it's Sarah Murphy with it. She'll wisely dump into the corner, allowing the Rams to change, and Darien to retreat and have to break out again.
But you're again seeing New Canaan get themselves in situations where these are longer and longer shifts, and the skaters are getting more and more worn down.
And Darien returning the favor as they dump this one in. Out in front of Fahey, where Sparks is able to collect. Bruno's pass just missed Sarah Murphy, and now the Rams have to go back one more time with 7 minutes remaining. The goal from Colleen Cassidy, the freshman, with her first goal against New Canaan in her first career game, as that shot's off the side of the net. Risky play there from Bruno, stick handling out in front of her own net.
And Kiki Trumpsa just firing it back in, not letting that get to the blue line.
Out in the corner, pops out, and again Darien comes up with it, and if not for friendly fire, they could have maintained the forecheck. Sparks up the board, no winger there. And now coming away with it is the Wave. The leader over to the right side. Shot bounced around, didn't get through.
Great skating by the leader to find a lane to shoot in.
Tropsa sent one on goal, the save made by Fahey. Potter's pass was cut off, and she's stuck behind the net now looking for help again. Ruthless on the forecheck is Darien right now. And Chris, again in the period of long change, the Rams stuck in their own zone for the second straight game.
Well, part of the period is you watch New Canaan. They've closed ranks around Fahey, and it's really making it harder for them to clear the puck and get it out.
Good job by Quincy Connell, forcing Tropsa all the way back behind her own net.
But she created openings on the ice for her teammates.
Good job having her head up, and she quickly finds Caitlin Chan. Chan's shot, blocked by Potter. Treats back around, and waiting there that time was Marciano. She's rubbed off the puck that time along the boards. Darien able to reset. There's Gianna Bruno. Trying to get this one in deep, but couldn't cross the blue line. And we'll see if they rule this one an icing. And that is the call with 4:59 remaining. Finally a break as the Rams can regroup here, John.
There's been a great pace to this. You got to think the Rams are happy with that Darien icing. Not only do they get the change, they get a face-off in Darien zone. Those have been hard for them to come by so far tonight.
Just time in the Darien zone here in the second period has been rare at best.
Well, at the 10-minute mark of the first period, I would have said it was 50-50, the time of possession. Now I'm going to say it's 75-25.
That is the right number. I was thinking 70-30 and afraid that might be too much, but it has been all Darien the last 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes of play as Fahey holds on to that one. It's a good time for us to go back down inside the glass with Chris Kalin.
Guys, I mean, you watch the way New Canaan's been operating. They really needed that icing. You know, you didn't see any kind of rush to go get the puck. And I think what it was just the fact they needed to get fresh bodies on the ice. And in that situation, you let the icing go, and then you go take the face-off with fresh bodies in the offensive zone.
Good patient play on the half boards as, again, Darien able to win another offensive zone face-off, John.
And that is the difference. That set up the lone goal so far. That has set up a lot of these long possessions that are allowing Darien to wear New Canaan down simply by keeping them penned in their own end of the ice.
Drops a shot from the point, blocked by Potter before it got through. Eccleston trying to clear again. One more time, Tropsa holds his own. Stops on a dime. Shot through the crease. Goes wide.
Tropsa just owning the blue line tonight. Just owns it. She will not let Darien get the puck out. Or New Canaan, excuse me.
Lowe sent one into the slot that was kicked aside by Dean. Now McCarthy trying to win a race out in space. But guess who? Kiki Tropsa there to cut her off.
And New Canaan, I don't think, has won a race to the puck yet tonight, and I think that's a huge difference so far.
Here's Tropsa looking to go end-to-end now as she works through the slot. Opportunity to let it go, but the shot was blocked by Eccleston. And we have not talked about it enough. The Rams doing a great job, though, of blocking shots in front of Fahey.
Oh, they're keeping Fahey clean for the most part. I mean, there really are not a lot of shots on goal thus far tonight.
And you said it before, Chris, how they've got that area around the net completely contained, not letting it win inside, but they are not even letting shots get through from the outside right now.
Going back to what you said about Tropsa, she just went 400 feet with the puck, one up one side of the ice and down the other.
What a look that time from the defenseman Kate Drugan, as now here's Bruno looking to work up ice.
But in every sport, to do something, you have to give up something else. It's true in football. It's true in baseball. It's true in hockey. And we'll get back to that thought.
That one didn't go on net to the right of Fahey.
Had I continued talking, that would have been a shot on goal. But if you pack the slot in front of your goalie, if you've got everybody packed in there, you're not going to get out. You're not going to have the room on the ice to spread out the defense and get through them.
Another New Canaan turnover, and lucky for the Rams were the Wave changing, so they had the opportunity to clear the zone.
And John, part of what you're saying too is you can't get the odd man rush because you have too many people down on the red line and in front of the crease.
Exactly, Chris.
Lowe lets a shot go that got knocked down in front. Turnaround effort, and they score! It hit Shea Vandenbroek in the slot. She had the turnaround shot that Fahey never saw. And with 1:57 remaining, it is 2-0 in favor of the Wave.
Both offenses have been so patient tonight. The skaters waiting, letting plays develop. And here we just have one where it hits Vandenbroek. She doesn't expect it, turns around, just fires it in, and it's 2-0 Darien.
And I love that. It's a nice hard shot on the ground. Shoot it low, force the goalie to move the heavy pads. So 2-0 now as the Wave have struck twice here in the second period.
Now, if you're New Canaan, do you start to think about doing that? Because that's when they broke through against Greenwich. A week ago was when they started to finally, all right, let's take shots.
That's exactly it. It's not even a shot on the ice right now for the Rams. It's just we need to get a shot on goal. As the wraparound attempt stuffed by Fahey. Puck is loose. Rebound. Score! Vandenbroek again. Took her all but 22 seconds.
And that was just rebound, got loose. Fahey went down. She blocked. The rebound went out to her left. She could not get back across the crease in time to make the save.
3-0 as the table has quickly turned on the Rams. The assist will go to Schiff as she tried the wraparound attempt. And it was a very good save from Schiff originally.
I mean, Fahey makes the initial stop. I think made another stop before, and then on those two, the rebounds got away, and the last time it cost her because it just sat there in the crease waiting for somebody to tip it in.
Now the puck stops along the boards. Bruno trying to work through the slot. Saw it taken away, but the Rams, Eccleston, able to hold the zone. Less than a minute to play here in the second period.
Yeah, Chris.
Guys, the official scoring, if I'm reading it right, which I hope I am, the first goal was Shea Vanderbreck with the assist from Courtney Lowe. The second goal was Vanderbreck unassisted.
Thank you, Cato. 30 seconds left as that shot off the stick of DeLeader went off the right post. Another shot on goal, deflected to the left and into the corner.
I guess they're thinking that it was a rebound and no assist, but as you said, the wraparound was what set that up.
Eccleston finally able to clear out to the center ice as Bruno looks to chase against Tropsa. Once again, Tropsa from behind her own net trying to go the length of the ice. Chips to safety, and that is how the second period will end. It was all Darien from the drop of the puck in that period. Cassidy with the first one, Vanderbroek with the next two as we sit in a 3-0 game at the end of two. Let's step aside and we'll be back shortly with the first two periods analysis and a preview of the third right after this on the HAN Network.
It's all about meeting goals this year, and Trinity CrossFit of Ridgefield has experienced trainers, top-of-the-line equipment, and a newly renovated space to help get you there. Offering more classes per day than any other CrossFit gyms in the area, we cater to all fitness levels. Our coaches have a combined 10 years of experience in CrossFit, and as competitors themselves, Trinity coaches can get you ready for competition in 2017. Stop by our grand opening bash on Saturday, January 14th at 9 a.m. Visit our convenient location on Route 7, Danbury Road, or find out more at trinitycrossfit.com.
Want a new experience in car buying? No aggravation, no confrontation, just answers to all your questions. Scap Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Car buying the way you want it to be. With one of the largest selections of new 2- and 4-door Jeep Wranglers available, we are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Located in Fairfield, Connecticut, we're easy to get to. Just 2.5 miles off the Merritt Parkway, exit 44 via Route 58 South. Save thousands right now during the Start Something New sales event, now through January 31st.
Are you looking for new opportunity this year? How does growing a business with unlimited income potential sound? Christy Kinsman is a local entrepreneur building a global health and wellness business in Fairfield County. Offering cutting-edge anti-aging skincare, all botanically based and paraben-free, and a complete vegan, clean-eating nutritional plan, Christy's looking for business partners that can help get others healthier while taking advantage of an untapped market. Take that first step to freedom from the 9-to-5 grind by learning more about the products and our mentorship program. Contact Christy at thelittlehouseshop@yahoo.com.
Are you ready for winter? Ski and Sport has everything you need to be fully outfitted for the season. A family-owned and operated business with over 40 years of experience, Ski and Sport's 3 convenient locations in Fairfield County offer top-quality, high-fashion ski and winter wear. In addition to clothing for men, women, and children, we also offer seasonal rentals for the entire family. Stop by our stores on 1 Ethan Allen Highway in Ridgefield, 877 Post Road East in Westport, and at 110 Main Street in New Canaan, or visit us at skiandsport.net.
Have a sports injury or slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast, without an appointment. Basketball, hockey, skiing, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care, open Monday through Saturday, now in 2 locations. The iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk and 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien. Or go to coastalorthoexpress.com, like them on Facebook. Want to reach new heights in your fitness and health goals? Find what you're looking for at Elevation Spin, Train, and TRX in Georgetown, Connecticut. Elevation Spin gives you purposeful spinning workouts inspired by the road. We encourage monitoring of heart rate and energy zones. Elevation also offers customized personal training with dedicated professionals passionate about helping you reach your goals. And let us motivate you to reach greater performance and functionality with TRX suspension training, using your own body weight for an incredible dynamic workout. Located at 4 Old Mill Road in Georgetown, call Elevation at 203-544-9503 or visit elevationspintraintrx.com for more.
At InSports Trumbull, the game is always on inside. Recently renovated and home to one of Connecticut's largest indoor turf fields, InSports is a multi-sport recreation center providing state-of-the-art facilities for league play, camps, and youth programs. Sign up now for InSports High School Passing League. These 7-on-7 teams formed by area high schools offer a great way for football players to stay sharp in the off-season. 3 weekly 6-week sessions will be offered from December 1st through January 5th, January 12th through February 16th, and February 23rd through March 30th. For more information, visit insportscenter.com. Like and follow us on Facebook.
At the Milford Bank, we offer an extensive selection of lending products and services to meet virtually any need. Submit your application online in our mortgage web center. Start to finish, you can apply for a loan in as little as 10 minutes. Our knowledgeable and helpful staff are available to meet with you at your convenience. To learn more about what we can do for you, stop by one of our Milford Bank offices or visit us at milfordbank.com. The Milford Bank, always there. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Well, there's still a bite out on the water. Most anglers have decided to stow the gear for the winter. Just because Mother Nature isn't cooperating doesn't mean you can't see the latest models of all your favorite gear. With 2 convenient locations, it couldn't be easier to get your fix of summer. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com.
If you're watching this broadcast, you're not alone. The HAN network is available for 200,000 Connecticut cable customers on the Frontier network. And we've also reached 1.7 million viewers on our free live streaming sports, news, and entertainment broadcasts. To reach our rapidly growing audience, contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
Back on the HAN network in between periods from the dance studio above the Darien Ice House, Frank Granito and John Kovach. Darien leads 3-0 after 3 goals in the second period, coming from Colleen Cassidy, then 2 from Shea Vanderbroek. And since the 10-minute mark of the first period, John, it has been all Darien.
We had 10 minutes of even hockey. We had 10 minutes of back and forth, great pace. And for the 20 minutes since then, it has been all Darien. They've kept New Canaan bottled up. They've done all the shooting. Unofficially, I show Darien for 13 shots in that period. New Canaan for 1. Chris Kalin's down in the penalty box in the scorer's booth, so he would have the officials. Cato?
Guys, I have the shots on goal so far. In the second period, Darien at 12.
Okay.
That's what I have down here. 17 shots for Darien through the first 2 periods, 4 for New Canaan. And honestly, that's all that's what this story is, and that's what it was for New Canaan against Greenwich.
It was very one-sided with the shots on goal, very one-sided with the ability to move the puck back and forth on the ice. And I think New Canaan turned it around for that third period in overtime a week ago, kept that momentum through the first half of the first period tonight, and now they're back where they were for the first two and 2/3 periods against Greenwich.
We have a scoring adjustment on the Darien first goal. It was actually Elise Morrow. They're going to say it was off a New Canaan player, so not Colleen Cassidy. Morrow with the goal. But, John, you look back to that game on Wednesday night against Greenwich. The difference now in New Canaan and who they're playing, I don't think you're going to see a Darien team that gets as nervous or tentative with where they're playing. They could very well punch in 5, 6, 7 goals right now, especially if their defense want to stay aggressive.
But in fairness to New Canaan, I don't know how much of that Wednesday night was Greenwich nerves and how much of that was just New Canaan's ability to come back, because it was a strong comeback by New Canaan. I didn't see any glaring failure by Greenwich. It just happened that New Canaan had a job to do and has that many fewer freshmen and that many more upperclassmen than Greenwich. Chris, your thoughts on that?
I think it was more New Canaan making necessary adjustments. I think it was New Canaan looking at the mistakes they were making and they corrected them. Here, you've got a Darien team that's really playing at the top of their game. For New Canaan, what you have to do is, don't circle the wagons. That's when you run it. That's for New Canaan when they run into trouble, is when they circle the wagons. They don't break out of the defensive zone. They get tired. They break down, and Darien starts to really apply the pressure and wear New Canaan out.
And Darien, go ahead, Frank.
Well, I was going to say, they're going to have 15 minutes to turn it around, John. We're going to step aside one more time here, but when we get back, we'll have the third period of action with the Rams trailing Darien 3-0 right here on the HAN Network.
Have a sports injury or slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast, without an appointment. Basketball, hockey, skiing, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care, open Monday through Saturday, now in 2 locations. The iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk and 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien. Or go to coastalorthoexpress.com, like them on Facebook.
I'm John Kovach. I'm a newspaper editor. I'm a high school football coach. I'm a television presenter. I want you to love fishing as much as I do. Tune into Yankee Fisherman, Thursdays at 1 on the HAN Network. It's like going to the tackle shop without leaving your office.
I'm Frank Granito.
And I'm Donald Ing for the HAN Network.
Tune in to Nutmeg Sports Monday through Thursday, where we bring you all the top stories from Connecticut sports.
From highlights to player interviews and expert analysis, no one gets you closer to Connecticut's games than Nutmeg Sports.
Nutmeg Sports, now Monday through Thursday at 2 p.m. on the HAN Network.
Give your day a jumpstart with the latest news, sports, weather, and more on Coffee Break, live on the HAN Network, weekdays at 11 a.m. Connecticut news doesn't get any more local than on Coffee Break.
If the Rams are going to remain unbeaten in conference play, they will have to come back in the final frame one more time. They trail 3-0. Again, a scoring change. It was Elise Morrow who collected that first goal for the Wave. Shea Vandenbroek with the other 2 goals. John, I rudely cut you off to get in a couple advertisements there before this third period. Let me allow you to pick up that thought.
Well, my thought was, and Chris was talking about New Canaan being jammed and not being able to get out. And so much of that gets back to a point we made in that second period, that they're putting 5 defenders right around the net to protect the goal. And that's costing them, and that's why they can't get out. They have to protect the goal, but to make that happen, they're allowing more pressure.
Too many times we've seen a puck go from one corner around to the other half wall, where the only player waiting there is a pinching Darien defenseman. And for his thoughts on this, let's go back inside the glass with Chris Kalin.
And guys, what John said with that protecting the goal, that was something, I mean, if it's something you didn't understand, it's something we saw a lot of years out of New York Rangers under John Tortorella. But the only way that works is if you score early, then you can close ranks and then you can play defense. Here for New Canaan, they're down 3. You can't close ranks. You have to take chances. You have to try stretch passes. You have to break out of that defensive zone. If not, you're definitely going to lose this game.
Right. Go ahead.
Well, John, and if Darien is going to stay aggressive, the opportunities are there. Worst case scenario, throw a puck up in the air out to neutral ice. Allow your forwards to go and win a race. There's no denying Gianna Bruno's speed right now, but she is trying to stick handle through the entire Darien team, and that's where New Canaan has been struggling. We've talked about it all year for football, for basketball, no matter what the sport. Turnovers are going to make life very tough for you if you want to win games.
Yes, they will.
Third period is underway.
I've got some experience with that.
As the Rams have changed up the lines one more time, now it is Sarah Murphy playing alongside Bruno and Dean. You'll see Connell, Marciano, and, McCarthy with that second line, but not before one more gets punched in from the Wave.
Had to be a deflection on the way through the crease. We're at the far end, unable to really get a good look. But that had to be going across the crease and then tipped in.
That was a pass from the half boards. There was a Darien player on the back post. Be interesting to see if that was who deflected that one in. We'll wait a moment, allow Cato to collect the scoring. It's another shot coming quickly. And let's go down to Chris Kalin right now.
Guys, if I'm reading it right, it's Corrine Bevel from Cassidy Schiff and Shea Vandebreck.
That's what it looked like to me, as I thought Bevel was on the back door there, and Schiff had played it off that half wall.
And that is not what New Canaan obviously needed to start this third period. They had to get one on the board quick, and instead now they've made the hole that much deeper.
Took only 39 seconds for Bevel to pick up her first. Third point of the night for Vanderbroek, second for Schiff. And now Darien content to just dump it in and force the Rams to go the length of the ice.
Yeah, they can play dump and chase now for the next 13 and a half minutes.
Another turnover in front of their own net, and that's one thing that Coach Buellin is going to have to address after this game. Just no regard whatsoever for the front of the net with some of these turnovers by the Rams.
None, and I thought they were getting in a bad habit of that against Greenwich Wednesday night, that there were a lot of kind of errant passes, just trying to flip it across the mouth of the net in their own zone.
Stick handling through the front, too, and that's day one. You're taught never go into the boards with your head down and don't clear the zone in front of your net.
But you know what? You're taught that on day one. How many times do you turn an NHL game on and see guys do that?
The Rams trying to figure this out as here's Tropsa with it. Low shot on goal, rebound coming. It's poked at, but Fahey able to hold on.
Actually, Darien, I think, has gotten more relaxed, and they're putting more pucks on net.
A lot of drive-bys by New Canaan players right now, not stopping on the puck, taking the opportunity to really put themselves between the goal and the player or the woman on the puck, and it's allowing Darien to just stick handle their way in and out of this defense. As along the half boards, looking to the center that time was Murphy. Now controlling with an opportunity to shoot. Lets one go and it's wide. That one off the stick of DeLeader.
Frank, how long do you keep your defenders back at your own blue line when you're in this hole rather than bring them up and just open up the offensive pressure in the hopes of sneaking something through?
Well, the problem is you need to have possession before you can just start having your own defense join the rush.
Oh, there is that.
As Murphy's turnaround pass finds a Darien player. Waiting for that one was Drugan. She tries to stick handle through the Rams, but saw it poked away before Sparks retreats and tries to break this one out.
I mean, I really wish we were running a time of possession clock because just Darien is.
Bouncing puck, able to be fielded there by Fahey and held on to. Maybe we'll bring Chris Kutzo or Kevin Coleman down next time and have them run the TOP clock.
There you go.
They're not doing anything tonight. Chris?
And guys, watching New Canaan trying to clear the puck, they're just getting it and throwing it. They're not looking to where it's going. And I think that's a little bit of desperation. What they're trying to do is they're trying to get that puck into the neutral zone and get some kind of rush going. But I think they're just getting a little ahead of themselves.
As this one going to be sent down, trying to win a race was McCarthy. She was a step or two behind the red line, so it's ruled icing. And similar to what we've seen with the Darien boys team this year, John, it's not so much that this is a young New Canaan team. It's the inexperience. Because you're going to see girls playing from freshmen through their senior year. You'll get a variety of players with girls hockey. That's the way the roster works, but it's a lot of new players. So being in an experience like this now, as another shot sent towards the cage and sticked aside by Fahey, where you were just in a game that you came back from 2-0, all of a sudden now you're going to think that the magic switch gets flipped, but Darien continues to add on. This is a learning experience for these girls.
It totally is. You can have a senior-laden team. You can have a team that's heavy with upperclassmen. That doesn't mean they're experienced. And that's what you run into. If you've got a team of upperclassmen and they've been playing varsity hockey or whatever the sport for 2-3 years, that's great. You've got experience. If you've got an inexperienced team that's senior heavy, okay, well, you got a bunch of seniors, but maybe they don't have the big game experience.
For the first time tonight, we saw Kathleen Tropsa taken off the puck after she retreated back behind her own net, as now the Rams looking to turn up the pressure on the forecheck.
And this is the first pressure we've seen from the Rams in some time.
Sparks joined the rush and went down low on the forecheck. Took down Kathleen Tropsa that time before it was turned over again. 5 minutes going by in the third. Darien struck 39 seconds in with the goal from Bevel, as they now lead 4-0. The leader with it. Stepped around one defender. Shot was blocked. Bounced around the slot. And then Murphy's head ice pass for Bruno missed. Here's Sparks just past the Zamboni doors. Looking ahead for Bruno. That went off her skate. And the Rams have to go back one more time. It'll be Eccleston's turn.
But Darien was offside, so they had to tag up, and it saves New Canaan some pressure.
Eccleston's pass for Murphy just couldn't be held on to. And now an opportunity for the Wave. No, good job there. Sophie Potter, the freshman for the Rams.
And she impressed me against Greenwich with her skating. She really can get in there and tuck herself underneath, get a stick in there, and break up a breakaway. Very, very well.
As the Rams send this one all the way down, and it will go for an icing. A good opportunity for us to remind all of our viewers one more time, the Week 2 Winter Athlete of the Week voting is open again until Sunday night at 11:45. 10 nominees on the docket this week. Congratulations again to Olivia Parisi and Anthony Beccaria of the Fairfield Ward Girls Basketball Team and the Fairfield Co-op Boys Hockey Team. Our Week 1 winners. We have HAN Network pullovers waiting for you.
Is that the first we've had a sweep where one school won them both?
No, I believe there was actually a Ridgefield sweep at one point in time.
I believe you are right.
8:30 remaining. The Rams trying to get on the board as Connell works down the right wing. Pulled down with a hook. Tropsa might have taken a slash too, shaking her hand there. She will be the one who ends up in the box when it is all said and done.
Yep, hooking the signal. And it's the first time that a penalty has been called on either team. We're almost 7 minutes into the third period.
Chris.
Yeah, guys, it's the first time I've had company in here all night. It's been a rather quiet night in both penalty boxes for both teams. A very cleanly played game.
So the Rams with the first power play of the night. As here's Connell trying on the turnaround. Giannunzio, good poke check coming out, and that allows Darien to clear. It was Sally Cassidy up front doing that. Eccleston circles behind her own neck.
But she was forced back there by Elise Morrow. Great job of checking and keeping her bottled in, not letting that breakaway develop.
Lowe with it, trying to clear. Eccleston got a stick on it at least. And now McCarthy has to reset. Chipped up ahead, and Connell dumps down low. It's a good play on the power play if the Rams can get there on pressure. And Brooke Dean did well, but now Darien controlling behind their own net. And one thing right now, John, you've got the man advantage. The Rams really need to make sure they have more numbers on the puck. As the shot from Bruno was blocked. Quick wrister sent far on the left side off the stick of McCarthy.
Had a chance, but it was just wide.
A minute gone off the power play, and that was Brooke Dean's pass. Good idea, but McCarthy was 2 steps to the left.
And again, you get a pass that just wasn't set up well.
Aggressive forecheck again on the penalty kill. This time it's Bevel, the only goal scorer here in the third period. 30 seconds remain on the power play. 6:45 in the game.
And that bad pass, allows Darien now to move this penalty kill into the New Canaan zone.
This one back behind the net, and here's Eccleston again. Up ahead on the boards. Navigating through traffic, and now here comes Bruno. Quick wrister, missed the cage.
Not by much.
Again, life has not been made difficult for Giannunzio since the first 5 minutes of this one. All even as the penalty expires, and now a stretch pass up ahead. Bevel with it. Opportunity to shoot, went to the middle instead. Shot down low, good save off the stick of Tropsa. Backhand again, and Fahey will hold this time. By no means has Kara Fahey looked lost in another strong performance from this rookie goaltender.
She's playing a great game. She's faced now closing in on 20 shots so far tonight. Comes up with another save. And that was challenging because Darien had a hanger just outside the New Canaan blue line. The penalty's over, and New Canaan gets caught mid-shift with a whole Darien unit ready to go.
And Chris, for the Rams, it's been a lack of scoring early on this season that's been the problem. If you were to tell them with a rookie hockey player starting at goalie for this year that they would have to worry about picking up goals, I think it's an issue they'd be okay with. As another one for the Wave, who make it 5-0 with 5:45 remaining.
Another puck gets loose, gets shoveled in with the backhand.
Yeah, guys, and if you're going to tell me New Canaan with a green goalie was going to have problems, it would be in net. And that's the exact opposite. Their problem is it's break so far in the 2 games we've had here on the HA Network is just that New Canaan hasn't been able to break out and get their offense going.
Well, if we've learned anything for these first few weeks, this is a very wide open conference for girls hockey this year, John.
It is a wide open conference, and as Dave Stewart talked about with me last Wednesday, it's an unfamiliar position for the FCAC in that they're not going to have multiple teams make the state playoffs, most likely. So every one of these FCAC games for these FCAC teams is kind of a playoff to who's going to represent the conference in the states.
And a huge win earlier this past weekend by Greenwich, who took down Simsbury 1-0. That game was up at Simsbury. They will play again later on this year. We will have that game from Dorothy Hamill.
But what a great job of rebounding by the Greenwich Cardinals to come back from, as I said, coming in. You can't win a tie, but New Canaan won that tie with Greenwich last Wednesday. New Canaan comes back from really a heartbreaking decision to post a really big win.
Let's go back down inside the glass to our own Chris Kalin. Chris.
And guys, Simsbury has been head and shoulders probably above every other team in the state. And for Greenwich to get that win, that really, goes to their chances for a playoff.
And the best save of the night made right there as Giannunzio flashed the leather, getting the glove up in time to deny Bruno on the short side.
High backhand shot. You really don't see a backhand shot get up that high where she had to save that. That was really a nice shot, and it had a lot of velocity to it.
4:25 remaining, battling down in the corner now. Spinning off of Sparks and sending this one around to the half wall. As Drugan held the line momentarily. Dean watched it skip by her skate, and it forces the Wave to go back the other way, and it's poked aside. Bruno now in a foot race to the net. Quick shot, and the save made again by Giannunzio.
Unofficially, I have those as the first 2 shots for New Canaan. This Chris Kalin's telling me it's 3, and I'm certain I did miss one. 3 shots this period, and that's only 6 for the game. 7 for the game, I'm sorry.
Offside, whistle dead there. As we get our first look at a new line for the Rams, you can see Catherine Metler, along with junior captain Zoe Jones and Catherine Rice, all out there now as Coach Bulin opening up the bench in hopes of some kind of a spark here with 3:30 remaining. Jones battling down low against Tropsa. Metler just couldn't quite cut it off. Another opportunity. Darien coming in. Shot towards the far side of the cage. Score. Caitlin Chan gets that one to go.
Comes up the left side. Makes a little move in and just slides it past Cara Fahey.
Took it the length of the ice by herself, and it is 6-0.
I'm a little surprised at how lopsided this got.
3 goals in the second, now 3 goals in the third, after what for the majority of the first period was a balanced hockey game. Up to the point, Tropsa with it. Lets the wrister go, got deflected and knocked down, and then cleared out to safety with 2:49 remaining.
Guys, on that goal, if I'm reading the score sheet right, that's an unassisted goal from Caitlin Chan, the freshman.
And so another freshman on the scorebook here for the Wave. And Chris, for this New Canaan team, by no means does this say they are out of this or outmatched compared to the top tier teams. It's an off night for the Rams, and I think that's the way Coach Bulin looks at it. But if Greenwich and Darien are going to be 1 and 2, you got to remember that Fairfield is up there right now with 8 points. They're off to a great start. Only 4 teams in the FCAC make the conference tournament. They cannot get caught dwelling on this game moving forward.
No, and they have to use this as a learning experience and learn from their mistakes. It's just that, the things that Darien did to them, they have to figure out how to combat that. Because at some point, if you're going to get to an FCAC championship game, you probably have to go through the Blue Wave.
This one dumped all the way around, and we were talking about it earlier on today on Nutmeg Sports, John. There is a chance that if Greenwich holds the top spot, you could be looking at a New Canaan-Darien semifinal match, meaning one of these teams won't be in the FCAC championship for the first time in a while.
That would be rare, but that's the state of girls hockey right now. And all those FCAC playoffs will be right here on the HAN network.
That is correct. We've got our full February schedule up for you online under the calendar at HAN.network as this one's sent towards the glove. And the third baseman, Fahey, able to field with ease that time.
Fielded that like a first baseman.
There you go. Coming up this week, we've got girls basketball from Trumbull tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Wednesday night, we're right back at the Darien Ice House. We've got the Greenwich boys, the defending FCAC champions, against the New Canaan Rams. They were the number 2 team in the state coming into the week, fell 3-2 against Xavier today. That game was up at Xavier. So Xavier back-to-back wins over FCAC teams. They had the overtime winner last week against Darien. Then you've also got Ridgefield, the number 1 team in the state, who knocked off Fairfield Co-op today 3-1. That was a Fairfield team off to a 6-1 start as well in Division 1.
Just promoted to Division 1.
That's correct, after winning D2 last year. And, of course, Thursday night is our HAN Network game of the week. Wilton and Ward in boys hoops. That game from Wilton High School in the Fieldhouse. Right now, Wilton will enter the game undefeated. Ward plays at West Hill tomorrow afternoon. If they win, they will be the only 2 remaining undefeated teams in the conference squaring off. Pre-game for that one is set for 6:40. Tip-off at 7 o'clock. Of course, tomorrow, You've got your coffee break with Kate Chaplensky at 11 a.m., the drive with Denise at 12:30, Nutmeg Sports at 2 o'clock with myself and Donald Ang, as we are down to 10 seconds remaining. Looking for one more are the Wave, but that shot blocked by Eccleston off the stick of Molly Reed. 5 seconds in the corner. A couple players lose an edge and go down. Now it's Chan working out from the front of the net. The save is made, and that will do it. Not the way the Rams drew it up. 6 for Darien. Nothing for New Canaan. Let's step aside quickly. John, Chris, and I will be right back, and we'll have the final analysis and breakdown after this on the HAN Network.
Cook it all this holiday. Avoid the stress of holiday planning and let your friends at Walter Stewart's in New Canaan do the heavy lifting. Whether you're looking to fill in with a few crowd-pleasing sides or you want us to prepare your whole feast, from cranberry sauce to pumpkin pie, we're ready to simplify your holiday. Place your order from our holiday menu and spend your holiday the right way, relaxing. Our fresh prepared holiday meals to go are designed with your busy schedule in mind. Visit us at stewartsmarket.com or at 229 Elm Street, New Canaan.
If you're watching this broadcast, you're not alone. The HAN Network is available for 200,000 Connecticut cable customers on the Frontier Network, and we've also reached 1.7 million viewers on our free live streaming sports, news, and entertainment broadcasts. To reach our rapidly growing audience, contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
Back on the HAN Network, a 6-0 win for the Darien Blue Wave, and a statement win, John, if nothing else, for Darien to really kind of bring New Canaan back down after the huge comeback, but also falling to Greenwich last week. And anyone who thought that the Wave might be rebuilding or not as talented or what we're used to, they proved otherwise tonight.
Right, they needed this for them. This is as much a statement from Darien to Darien and from Darien to New Canaan as to the rest of the conference. We've talked already tonight about how wide open this conference is. This was Darien saying, all right, they tied Greenwich. They had a rally to do it. We ran away from them, and we proved to us that we can beat them. And if we can beat them, we can beat Greenwich. That's what they're telling themselves right now.
A huge win for the Wave, who improve to 4-1 now in the conference. The Rams fall to 2-1-1. They sit in fourth place, still behind Darien. For our director, Eric Gendron, Chris Kalin, John Kovac, I am Frank Renito. Don't forget Girls Hoops tomorrow night, coffee break at 11, the drive 12:30, Nutmeg Sports at 2 o'clock. All of that right here on the HAN Network.